Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, all our viewers from wherever you are watching or tuned in. We are back again on Euroforum Uganda with your one and only host, Samantha Elf, all the way from Finland. How are you guys? And I hope the good Lord has kept you all alive. Today's topic is a very interesting one, and we're going to be talking about cyberbullying. Before we start, I would like to let you know that in today's digital age, the internet has become an integral part of our daily life, offering numerous benefits in communication, education, and entertainment. However, with the rise of social media and online platforms, a darker trend has engaged: cyberbullying. Unlike traditional bullying, cyberbullying extends beyond physical spaces, allowing perpetrators to harass and harm their victims anytime. Anyhow, we are here today with two gentlemen, and I'm so happy and delighted to be here, sandwiched by two gentlemen. So all our viewers out there that are tuned in, please remember that I am allowed to misbehave today because I have two men, that have my back. I know that men are usually soft on ladies, and I'm very sure that no matter how much, you guys might come at me, they will be here to support me and have my back. Well, with me today are two lovely gentlemen who will be introducing themselves at a much later stage. But for now, allow me request both of them to humble themselves, and let's have a word of prayer before we kick in to start our show. Mighty Father, I would like to thank you for this beautiful and wonderful day that you have bestowed upon us. Father, we thank you for your daily bread. Thank you, Lord, for your protection. And Father, we thank you for all the love and blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Father, now that we are here to gather and communicate as well as interact with our peers, Father, we pray that we connect as a blessing or actually sensitize someone out there. We've prayed all this through Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
And my guests say amen.
Amen.
Good. Yes. Now I feel better. How about Chris? Chris, I didn't hear you say amen.
I did, actually.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay. That's good. Then I'm happy. All right. With us today in the studio are two gentlemen, like I told you earlier, and I'm going to start with one gentleman all the way from Taiwan. Kindly introduce yourself. The floor is all yours, and let's start our show.
All right. Greetings to all my good people. My name is Boniface Sekamwa. But by stage, I'm known as Bonnie Cross. That's what everybody knows me. Knows how everybody knows me around here. And I am a Ugandan, Kenyan Ugandan, so to speak, but spent most of my life in Uganda and now moved to Taiwan, resident here. And yeah, basically that's all about me. It's a privilege to be on this show all the time. No matter what time it is, I just feel like I'm dignified to be here. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. And I'm actually honored to have you here on this show. Just a quick one for all of you people out there that might not know. Bonnie Cross has been on Euroforum's shows quite a number of times, and actually, I believe he has been here longer than I have. So I'm very happy to have you here. And something we actually have in common today is that we both are wearing hats. Yeah, big ups. It is summer.
Yeah.
Gibson, you had better, grab yourself one, or else you're gonna be
I
left
keep
out.
it actually.
You do? Okay. But to all our viewers, yeah, that was Bonnie Kurz from Taiwan. And now I'm going to give a platform to our gentleman to also introduce himself. Gibson happens to be part of Euroforum Uganda. He's more or less on the management team, and he's here with me today as a co-host or guest. So he's 2-in-1. So Gibson, you're most welcome. Feel at home, and remember, we're here to do this together.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
About yourself. Introduce yourself.
Oh,
Tell us
okay.
a little more about you. Please,
Thank you
Gibson.
so much. My name is Gibson Omhumza. I live in Uganda. I've worked with Euroforum, I think, like for 3 years. And this platform has promoted the values that Ugandans believe in the diaspora. And I believe today's show is going to be a game changer in terms of knowledge and understanding the concept and the idea of technology, how technology is advancing through different various platforms like AI. So today we are going to address cyberbullying, and it's one of being a tech guy. I've been in this industry. I've worked with the media fraternity for some good time. And so I'm privileged. I'm always behind the camera, but I'm privileged to be in front of the camera after a very long time. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Thank you so much.
We are more than happy to have you here, Gibson, today, before the cameras, not behind the cameras, like you just said. Okay, so let's dig in and let's start our show. Today, like I said to our viewers, invite a friend to invite another friend to come. Let's learn, share, and inspire people out there. Our topic of discussion is addressing the cyberbullying wave. We'll be talking about cyberbullying in 3 different categories. Actually, I'll break it into 5 different categories, not 3. The first one will be understanding cyberbullying. Yeah, then we'll have the impact of cyberbullying. The third one will be prevention and awareness. And then we'll have the role of parents or educators when it comes to cyberbullying. And then lastly, we'll talk about the technological bit of it. Yeah, but to start with, I'm going to request Cross to take on the understanding cyberbullying part. Allow me ask you that what is cyberbullying in your own opinion?
Oh, well, the way I understand cyberbullying is when people use social media platforms, but not only social media platforms, but also gaming platforms as well, messaging platforms and mobile phones to, taunt other people or bully them, make them feel bad about themselves, lower their self-esteem, and what have you. So briefly, that's how I would define what cyberbullying is.
Thank you very much. That actually tallies with, yes, how I would as well define cyberbullying. But guys out there, remember we are Neuroforum Uganda, and we are here to impact or create a difference. And we request each and every one of you to come in. You can share with us your opinions or your ideas or information. We are open. Remember, knowledge is power, and we are always here to learn from one another. Before we move on, Gibson, can you also give me your understanding of cyberbullying? What is cyberbullying to you?
Cyberbullying is the use of technology to harass or threaten. At times we can say embarrass or target another person through media and online platforms. it is just a short definition that I can just give about cyberbullying.
And that is actually very, very precise and straight to the point, because you said it's a way to embarrass or to bully, that comes from the word itself, cyberbullying. So yes, people out there, you've heard from my two gentlemen. Yeah, they have helped us understand what cyberbullying is. And before we move on, I would like both of you to tell me or tell our viewers out there how you think cyberbullying differs from traditional forms of bullying. Is there any difference between cyberbullying as compared to other traditional forms of bullying?
All right. Can I go first?
Please, yes.
Oh, sure.
So,
Please.
well, first of all, I would like to kind of like personalize this. I think everybody has been bullied before or has experienced a form of bullying physically. Where we grew up from, we had older kids at the schools where we had older kids or smarter kids or just kids who, were just annoying and they bullied us.
Yeah.
That was physical, right? And, we grew with that until we grew up and, doesn't happen anymore. But also still in adulthood, you find out that at work, still people get bullied. And it's a thing, because what happens between a bully and the one being bullied is the fact that one of them thinks they're better or they're higher or they're more privileged than the other, and that's why they bully. And that's the physical bullying.
Yeah.
Then we get to cyberbullying, whereby it doesn't matter what abilities you have, how strong you are, but you're hiding behind a gadget.
Yeah.
Hiding behind a computer, you're hiding behind a mobile phone, you're hiding behind a messaging platform, and it gives you leverage, so to speak, for you to say what you want to say, express yourself, however you express yourself negatively in sense of bullying others. So I would say that would be the distinction for me for the different kinds of bullying. Yes.
Yes. That's very, very good insight there. And I would like to continue with you, Kurs. Would I be right if I said that girls tend to suffer more bullying when it comes to the traditional or the physical part of bullying compared to boys? Is that correct in your opinion? What do you think?
I'm not sure about that, because unless there's statistics to support it.
Yeah.
But I know that everyone gets bullied, whatever gender they are.
Yeah.
Is right now, like if it's girls or boys. Now we also have transgenders. They say they get bullied too. In the world we're living in right now, everybody says I'm bullied because I identify as this, because I am this, now I'm being bullied. So I cannot put a mark on who gets bullied most, whether it's boys or girls. Like, we're living in the real world right now, where we have not only boys and girls, but every other form of, I don't want to get into that right now, but everybody, whatever they identify as, say they get bullied. So unless there's things to support it, but what I know, there is no number to it.
Okay. Thank you very much for that clarification. Yeah. So for now, I would like to say that no matter what sex, boy, girl, bisexual, by whatever it is, yes, we should take it that we are all bullied. But probably it depends on how we actually deal with the bullying that might vary from one person to another. Right. Yes. Thank you very much. Gibson, would you like to add on to that, or should we move on to the next subject? Would you like to throw more light on the differences?
I can just add on something small. Yes. Traditional bullying is mostly premeditated. So cyberbullying is often impulsive. So research, and when you do your research indicates that cyberbullying is rarely premeditated, like traditional bullying. So cyberbullying is often done impulsive and not planned. not like in traditional bullying where the bully plans the attacks. So yeah, so I can just add on something small like that.
Very much. Thank you very much, Gibson. That was very, very massive. That was good. Thank you. And now this next question goes to you, Gibson. What are the main platforms or online spaces where cyberbullying occurs? Could you name? Yeah.
Yeah, of course, it is the mainstream media. I mean, it is these our social media platforms that are basically easy and simple to be able to use for communication, socialize, so it is much easier for someone to get on his smartphone and be able to text anything. It is quite different when you're on TV and you're being hosted, and then you bully someone through a talk show. You first think about it. But with social media, those are platforms that really, like Facebook, WhatsApp, those are platforms, media platforms that have promoted cyberbullying. And it does not only work with that, but it also goes beyond what we think and know. We talk about technology. We have been discussing about AI, artificial intelligence. It has taken the whole shape of media approach in terms of content. Last time we had a discussion that there are ladies across I think in South Africa, one in Asia, that committed suicide after they identified their pictures and images in a nude video, naked. It is just a new wave. AI technology is creating a new form of cyberbullying,
Yes.
So you find yourself in a position where you don't expect yourself to be. You find your video in a content that you never expected it to be. And it has created a lot of havoc in our communities. And so cyberbullying has now gone to another level through technology. So so naming platforms that basically do promote cyberbullying, of course, you're talking about social media. Social media is vast. There are lots of platforms, but to just be specific, there are so many elements that have contributed to cyberbullying on the media, on the mainstream media, and these ordinary social media platforms.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gibson. And on that note, you actually bring me to something that I read sometime that said that AI, people have actually come up with AI boyfriends or AI girlfriends lately. And there was a girl in China who was 19 years old, and she said that she does not have need or does not have the desire to look for a boyfriend because she has her AI boyfriend that is always on time and has never disappointed her. Like he's there for her 24/7. And then that brought that brought a lot of questions to my mind that, okay, which world are we living in now? Because if people are now replacing AI with real people, then it means that we're going to get to a time where we won't have physical contact with anyone, but we'll actually have AI, doing all or satisfying all our needs. Yeah. Of course. Have you heard of that girl, or have you read that story?
Yeah,
The girl thing,
up to date with what's happening in the technological world and what's going on with advancement in technology. I usually like to reserve my comments, but what I think is because there is a God, that's for sure. I believe in God, and there is no way, and I think it's been tried a number of times, but there's no way humanity can be replaced. It doesn't matter how much. We've watched movies about boats, robots replacing humankind, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And yeah, but I've seen it, sure.
Okay, yes, that was quite something. I just thought to myself that the world is really going crazy, and thank God you actually believe in God, because God, without God, nothing is possible. Yeah, I'm a very big lover of God as well, and yes, it's very nice to hear that there are people out there that share the same perspective. But moving on, let's move to Facebook and inform our viewers out there that invite our friends to invite another friend to come and share with us. We are still addressing our topic of discussion today, which is addressing the cyberbullying wave. Have you been bullied before? Have you experienced cyberbullying, or have you had a friend, a relative, a loved one, be bullied sometime? If so, please come join us and let's share different experiences and talk about this terrible vice that is going on. We cannot do without it. Some of us try to avoid it, but I'm sure some have gone into depression, and probably their mental health has also deteriorated due to the fact that they have been victims of cyberbullying. As we move on, I just want to remind all our viewers out there that we are on Eurofarm Uganda with me, Samantha Elf, your host, and we have a one lady in Uganda called Nagolola Janat, who happens to be a coach at Mind Your Child. So for all your parenting needs, parenting challenges, you could actually contact Nagolola Janat on at Mind Your Child in Uganda. Yes. Moving on, I would like us to talk about how cyberbullying can manifest in different age groups, especially among children, let's say teens and adults. Let's go with Bonnie's opinion on this one first. How can cyberbullying manifest in different age groups, especially among children and teens? Sorry.
With kids, especially as working with kids, you realize that because no one teaches anybody bullying. You just wake up in the morning and kind of realize that you are in a status where you can be able to attack somebody else and bully them and belittle them and make them feel small or unworthy of themselves.
Yeah.
And with kids, usually it comes with the comparisons in, lifestyle and, how well they're doing in life. Usually what I've seen, like with a personal experience, I've seen, well, if kids know they're rich or they think they're wealthy or well off, usually they tend to bully the other kids that they think may not be doing as well as they are. And so that is how bullying reflects in kids mostly. Not only that though, also with academic and physical performance, like if a kid knows they're smarter than another kid, they'll probably bully them because of that. Or it can even be the other way around these days, because the thing about bullying, it can work in a reciprocal manner, whereby if you're good, you'll be attacked for being good. Like if there are smart kids out there and they're really smart, they'll be called nerds.
Yeah.
And they'll be bullied for that. So they make you feel bad about your capabilities. You're smart, you're not, you're keeping your peace, you only do your work, but you got these goons, I call them goons most of the time. Yeah. You got these goons who think that, oh, he thinks he's smarter than all of us. He's a nerd. And they make you feel bad about that. So that's how bullying works at that particular age. Let me say elementary and, middle school and high school age. That's how it works.
Okay.
And then when you get to workplaces also, it goes back to ability, or if someone has some background information about you, they use it against you to bully you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to be bullied by a British guy because he knew I was from a third world country. And because of that, he was kind of subtle. He had what we call passive aggression.
Yes.
And come over and say stuff like, I heard in Uganda this is happening. And all negative stories and negative news. And I was like, dude, whenever something good happens to Uganda, you never talk to me. But whenever there's something wrong with Uganda, or East Africa or Africa in general, that's when you get to talk to him. So I felt like bullied, and I had to, give him the talk. I was like, oh, listen, if you have anything positive to say about where I come from, don't say anything. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So in other words, it actually works in a way where people tend to make those that are good at what they do feel bad about being good at what they do.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yes.
reciprocal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What I think is, like, we talked about the traditional bullying, right? And we used to bully. I'm saying we because we're all culprits at some point.
Yes.
We used to bully people who were less, but now it works either way. We can bully, especially with cyberbullying. It works with people who are less or who we think are less, but also people who we think are more or are better than us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's a very nice meme I saw on Facebook, and it said, it was like, the media makes you think that Jay-Z is a Satanist. Him being rich is a Satanist, and Bill Gates makes his money, like in a legit way.
The right way. Yeah, through right channel.
So, those kind of like a set of message in that where it show that being my color or being my like my origin, being a Black person, if we make money, there's no you made it in the right way. But if it's the other face, they made it in the right way. So you see, that's kind of a bullying as well that you don't understand, but it kind of makes you small, or it kind of believes you, and you're like, oh man, I'm not supposed to get rich. The minute I get rich, they will say I stole, or I'm a devil worshiper, or whatever. So there are all these sort of messages that come in, not only for age groups, but also races. You get bullied because of who you are. I mean, I was born like this. God created me like this. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
And so
that's right.
So bad because of where you came from or your origin, and the other origin, he's better, he's blessed, stuff like that. So all those are forms of bullying.
That's true. That actually reminds me of a scenario where people tend to think that when women are rich or women come out as smart and independent and they're out there doing their thing, people always tag them saying that they tend to imagine that you actually have a guy that's taking care of you, because society tends to think that a woman cannot actually make it on her own without getting money from a man. Yeah, so I do get where you're coming from. Yes, that is so true. Point.
Remember, there's something we didn't mention.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned that, and that's basically that's an allegation. Someone makes an allegation.
Yes.
But then cyberbullying will be someone repeatedly does the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Repeat.
Yeah.
And if they keep on repeating it, then you realize now I'm being bullied.
Yes. Yes.
Especially when it comes to things like what you just said right now, like, oh, this lady, no way she got rich all by herself and all that. So if it becomes a trend where they talk about it all the time, and then there is no truth to it, then that's literally,
That's right. That also takes us back to the point of body shaming. Some people are really bullied because of their body type. And like you said, that's how God created them. And there's nothing they can do about that. They are literally maybe very small or they're really big. And, we all are different and we all have different body types. So people should always watch out and know that there are certain things that people do not have authority over. There's just nothing that people can do about certain things. Yes. My dear Gibson, the floor is all yours now. I would like you to also, go on and comment about manifesting, how cyberbullying can manifest in different age groups, especially among children, teens, or adults.
Cyberbullying, in most cases, just like you said, cyberbullying basically it is done amongst teenagers. if you look at some of these researches that have been and statistics that have been established online, the most type of harassment youth encounter online is naming and calling each other names. And of course, statistics are showing that some 42% of teens say they have been called offensive names online or via their cell phone. Now, you realize that now we are talking about teens. Teens always have issues. You know, their bodies are developing, their minds are developing, they are transiting from one level of life cycle to another part of life. I mean, so they encounter a lot of things that come with development. So, and then when you additional, about third or 32% of teens say they have been spread false rumors about them on the internet, while smaller shares have had someone other than a parent constantly ask where they are, you know, who they are with, what they are doing, and then 21% or have been the target of physical threats online. So it is, when you look at this cyberbullying, it is majorly the teenagers who are trying to identify themselves. They are trying to understand who they are. And in that process, it is where they encounter problems like self-esteem, trying to identify themselves who they are, trying to figure out things where they are good, the gifts, the talents, and different spheres of influence that they can participate in. So at that age group, as they are trying to work out stuff, as they are trying to be themselves, they make mistakes and they end up being called names, you know, they end up being called names. And this is where parenting comes in. I feel we need special sessions on parenting to address some of these issues, especially when it comes to teenagers. Teenagers, what they go through is a lot, and we simply don't understand it. And at times we just rubbish it off like, you know, they are crazy. By the way, they are the most annoying creatures that God ever created. Teenagers.
Thank God you were once a teenager as well.
So we need, that stage is very dangerous. But however, that stage is very good. I like it. I work with teenagers, you know, they're very creative. They come up with ideas and concepts, very weird ideas, very annoying ideas. But at the end of the day, you realize this weird idea can be shaped. You know, for them, they look at these small things. Why they're being bullied, they look at these small things. I mean, what we call small things, to them, they are big things. You know,
for example, could you enlighten us? Small things like?
Small things like
the way they look, the way they dress.
Yeah, exactly. Like they are just obsessed with the way they want to dress. This is me. This is how I want to dress. And they spend a lot of time on phone. They listen to, you know, they participate in a lot of content that does not build them. That is what it does not add value to them. Now, those are the small things we're talking about. And to them, that is the whole world. For example, you remember when we, like the platforms we attach to on social media, we attach to like things like TikTok, Facebook, but you find a teenager that is boring. You know, they are attached to Snapchat. Now, to us, you might not find us on Snapchat.
Do you know why they like Snapchat? Because Snapchat has different filters that will make them look, you know, nice with glowing skin and, you know, different shapes. You know, with Snapchat, you can mold your photo or yourself into anything that you want, but you cannot do that on, for example, Facebook Live, or you cannot do that on other platforms. I think that's why they're tuned to Snapchat.
Now, according to our profession,
Yeah.
You will not go and try to transform yourself to another figure that is different. You have issues with your customers, clients,
Yes.
your followers. You're trying to be someone else. Now that the teenagers, that is them. That is their real thing.
Yeah.
You know, and in that process, because we don't understand them, we judge them.
Yes.
You know, cyberbullying is far quite beyond just being online. Actually, cyberbullying can start from what these teens do online. Just imagine you just logged in and you got your daughter dancing in a weird way, and you're like, wow, this is just weird. Now, that is also part of cyberbullying, because he will be mentally affected.
Yeah.
And will not like it. That is also part of cyberbullying, you know, and we need to understand this age group.
Yes.
It is the most bullied age group, because
Yes.
they're trying to they're trying to identify who they are.
Yes.
They're trying to identify where they can fit in society.
Yes.
They are transiting from one stage to another stage. And they have faced challenges with being bullied on different levels, home, at school, even within themselves, like peers. They bully themselves, you know. So we need to have specific trainings, lectures on cyberbullying, especially parenting.
Yes.
Because the whole of this cyberbullying thing is a parenting thing. If someone is being bullied, and there is a dad that believes in this young girl, this young boy, or believes in this person, I don't think they'll go to the extent of even being bothered about what someone said about them. For example, if you wake up in the morning, tell your daughter that you love them, tell them you are the most beautiful. I like the way you dress, you know. And then someone goes on social media and is like, wow, man, the way you're dressed is just, you know, you don't know, you're out of fashion. Actually, I don't like you, you know. But if your dad spoke good, positive words in the morning and was like, I like your dress, my daughter, I love you. You know, I like the way you talk. You know, so when this young girl or this teenager goes online and starts speaking, expressing himself, he'll be like, I am the best speaker in the world. I don't care who says what.
Daddy told me so. I don't care.
I am me. I am good at this. This is me. You know, that confidence. And you realize that bullying comes with lack of self-confidence. If you don't know who you are, you take it personally. Low self-esteem. You don't know who you are. I mean, when someone speaks, you're like, it might be true, because now I don't think I can measure up to this
Gibson,
level.
I really love the way you're thinking about this, because you're speaking with a lot of emotion and a lot of passion. I'm getting this picture of, I don't know, Bonnie, are you getting the same? But it looks like Gibson must have been bullied. He must have been bullied at some point, because he's speaking with so much passion and emotion. I think he can go for about 2 more hours, you know, talking about the particular topic. So yes, Gibson, I do.
No, let me put it back to you.
Yes. Yeah, go on.
No. You know, I can talk for long about this, especially when it comes to young people. Because they're the most affected age group when it comes to social media influence. And they're the ones that are being affected.
And now this leaves me with a question to you, Gibson. Do you have kids? Do you have children?
No, I don't have kids, and I don't have children.
I think you would actually be a very good father when you get children, because you know the right things to say, especially to girls. Girls need that boost. We need that. We need to hear the positive thoughts and the positive words, from our surrounding or from our loved ones. And that is why I always
Yes.
tell men to always be affectionate to their partners. Every morning when you wake up, tell your wife, you know what, I'm so happy, that I have you in my life. When she's going out, tell her you look so beautiful, so that
Yes.
when she hears such a thing from another man out there, she won't be bothered. But if there's a woman that never hears, such words from her man or her husband, if she ever got out and then Bonnie told her, you look hot, you look good, she'll be like, she would want to explore, more with what Bonnie is saying.
Exactly.
So yes, so all the people
Exactly.
out there, learn to always, learn to praise or learn to speak positivity into the people you love. Talk to your children, tell them how much you love them, tell them how much you're proud of being their parents, tell them, all the good things, because that builds our self-esteem as human beings or as children. So Gibson, thank you very, very much for that wonderful
You're welcome.
submission. Yeah, I just had to
You're
cut you
welcome.
short because I noticed you might talk forever because it was right from the heart. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Moving on, we have Janat Nagbolola. She just joined in. I think she would like to chip in and say a word or two. Janat, for all of you that do not know, she's part of the Euro management team, and she is a parenting coach in Uganda at Mind Your Child in Uganda. So for any of you searching for parenting skills, please look no further than Nagbolola Janat in Uganda. She will blow you away and she will take care of all your parenting problems. Yeah. Okay, Janat, are you there? Would you like to come and say a word to us? Janat, hello? Okay, maybe she's not there right now. Let's move on and I'll go with our gentleman, Bonnie. I want us to now talk. Okay. You can now hear. Okay. Yes, Janat.
Outside.
Good evening. How are you?
The place is a bit noisy, but I have typed in the chat.
Okay. Saying good evening. Janat, can you hear? Can you hear me? All right, let's move on. Yeah, I think there's a technical interference on Janat's side. She will join us whenever she can, but for now, I want us to move on to the next step or the next sector of our discussion, which will be talking about the impact of cyberbullying, yeah, on the victims that incur cyberbullying. And here, I would like us to start with our gentleman, Bonnie. What are the emotional and psychological as well as social effects of cyberbullying on its victims? Could you give us some emotional, psychological, or social effects that may actually occur on cyberbullying victims?
Thank you. I mean, it's pretty obvious that any form of bullying is not positive. It's all negative.
Yes.
What bullying does is it affects you emotionally, mentally, and sometimes physically. Oh, not even sometimes, but most of the time physical. I'll give an instance. For example, we just talked about body shaming. And if you are body shamed on social media, you might end up resorting to trying extreme means to try and get rid of that for which they're shaming you for. If they say you are fat or you are obese, overweight, you might ending up starving yourself to death. But also remember, all these things work together: emotional, mental, and physical. Because you emotionally think about it like, whoa, they're right, actually. Then emotionally feel it, you feel bad about it, and then you create physical impact on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think the impact it's just obvious. It's just right before us. We've had cases where, and I think the Mr. Gibson just mentioned it, kids committing suicide. But also, I think we should also be careful not to focus only on kids or teenagers,
Yeah.
because I believe that, like I said already, like or before, that cyberbullying affects all ages, all races, and all sexual orientations. This is something we cannot overlook right now. It's with us.
Yeah.
And so we gotta look at it in that way, because if we only focus on one group, then and we cannot say that we only have the solution for that group and we don't have a solution for the other groups. Literally, cyberbullying is a vice that affects everybody, and it should be attacked not according to a group, but as a whole, like it's cyberbullying for everybody. That's what should happen. So the impact is pretty nasty. People lose their self-esteem. People lose motivation. They lose focus as well.
Yes.
And I would like to say, because of time, especially for my country, Uganda, I feel grieved about it, because on a day-to-day basis, you get all forms of cyberbullying that I've never seen ever before in any other part of the world.
Yeah.
Well, I have some Nigerian platforms that I see as well, but I kind of feel like in Uganda it's a bit toxic, because I know much about Uganda, but it's really a little toxic. And it comes from we don't have respect for each other. We don't have love or genuine love for each other. And at the end of the day, whatever comes into our mind, we just say. And we have no empathy as well. We don't know how it affects, or we never think about how it affects other people, what I say or what I do. You know, about Uganda again, it's so funny. Most Ugandans are strong and they're up to it. Like when they get bullied most of the time, you rarely hear cases of inflicting pain on themselves because of that. So I kind of feel like Ugandans have reached to a stage where they're like, not exactly emotionally strong, but they're kind of like stone cold, and they don't really mind it. Of course they do, but they act like they're not affected, but still it affects them and it affects their life. Like, it's different in the Western world, even here, like in, these Oriental countries. People are so emotional, and whatever you say, they'll take it seriously, and they will, it will live with them for the rest of their lives. In this country here, we have laws that protect against cyberbullying. There's also a headline. I didn't know there was a headline, but I checked it out. And I'm on social media for sure, for real. But we get people coming to bully, and what happens? The groups that we have, or the people we have, the accounts we have on social media, they work as a team. It's hard to bully somebody because they will all come against you, and they will rebuke.
Right. Yeah.
So we have less of that in this country, and it's a thing. When you bully somebody and they take a screenshot of that message, they use that as evidence against you. You can pay a lump sum of a fine to clear. I was bullied before in this country. There was one lady, she didn't like Africans, and she bullied everybody, wanting everybody to be deported. And she thought that we never knew the rules or the law. And it reached to a point, I ignored her, first of all, but then after that, I was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna sue you. And she didn't know who I was. Apparently, she thought any other immigrant, until she realized I'm actually a resident in this country. And that's when she backed off. And she was like, all right, now I know you're different. And I'm like, not only me, I'm speaking for all other minorities in this country, because we are the minorities.
Thank God. Yeah.
So if you are thinking of bullying any of us, I will literally come for you. I will take you to the courts of law, and you will suffer the consequences. So the impact of cyberbullying is quite intense. It lives with people for the rest of their lives. And what happens is, like, now we cannot separate our social media life from our physical life. like it's intertwined. It
Yeah,
works together.
Mhm.
So most of the time, it affects your work, your relationships,
Yeah.
with your family and also your personal relationship, but also not only that, your relationship with the higher power. I'm talking about God, whatever religion you're in. Bullying affects that. Just imagine you wake up in the morning and someone says, "There's no God." And then they write all those things that there's no God and you read through them. It kind of, and when you try to say, "Hey, there is a God," and they laugh at you, they mock you,
Yeah.
kind of brings you into, emotions like, wait a minute, they could be true. So it kind of affects and start asking yourself questions. That could be that, you know what I'm saying? Um, Mr. Gibson said something about parenting and all that. And I was asking myself one question. How about people who are being bullied and they don't have parents? How do we go about that? You know what I'm saying? So not
Yeah.
everybody has. But my dad, by the time, by the time he died, there was no social media.
Yeah.
So I had to face the world on my own. I know that a lot of
Yeah.
kids as well out there that don't have that opportunity, and also the parents themselves do not know how to go about social media. So it
Mm.
might be hard for a parent to guide a child on how to deal with cyberbullying. My suggestion would be, as a country, as an institution, as schools, they should be able to set up platforms where they support and guide and help kids on dealing with issues to do with cyberbullying. You'll realize some of these parents also are on cyberbullying. They do it as well, especially on these blogs, these blogs owned by all these bloggers in Uganda and the rumor blogs, gossip blogs. So the parents are into it. And now these are the same parents who want to rely on to talk to the kids and guide them on how to deal with cyberbullying. That's not going to happen. So I believe that we get institutions, and of course,
Yeah.
everybody has parts. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
Like
Bonnie, I just wanted to interject in, and I was saying that that's actually the next part that we're going to be tackling, as in the role of parents and educators, yeah, when it comes to cyberbullying. However, because of the time factor and because I want to let you off, I just want you to give us, before I say anything, I can see a guitar. Do you play a guitar? Do you play guitar?
I'm a musician.
You do. You are a musician. That is my favorite, instrument. I'm gonna request you to please, just play the guitar before you sign out and before you give us your last remarks.
Wow.
Please do. I love. Yes, go
Can
on.
you hear that?
Yes.
Anjagala, Anjagala, Bachitalo,
Hello, Nakunjagala,
Anjagala, always
Chisachi,
Atenama.
Magala. Yay! Oh my God. Thank you very, very much. You know, something funny. I always tell people, I tell my gent friends that if you ever want to be on my good side, all you need to do is learn the guitar. Just
All
come
right.
with a guitar and then ask me to do anything, anything I will do. You say, yeah? Yeah.
It's my companion here because I live up country and I do not socialize a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe when I'm with my band because I have a, but usually I'm by myself and compose some music and all that. Yeah. But just to finish up, I was saying that I would like to encourage, first of all, just to sum it up for me and for everybody else watching and listening. It goes back, like I said, we're all culprits of cyberbullying. I've cyberbullied people. I'm not proud about it. I've been cyberbullied as well, but I reached to a level of maturity whereby you, first of all, you acknowledge that um, everyone is special and
Yes.
everyone deserves love and respect. And when you
Yes.
get your heart, every opinion you see there, all you do is you have to respect it, even though you don't agree with it. You have to respect it. Now, for the prevention of cyberbullying, I would say Mr. Gibson, good, you're back. I was just mentioning you, and I was like, you mentioned parents only, and I'm like, well, that was a good point, but how about people who don't have parents? And I'm like, what I'm suggesting, like the whole country at large, or all institutions, we can break it down to okay, schools, hospitals. We can identify how many people are in hospital because of cyberbullying. Oh, the reason I have this injury is because someone bullied me on Facebook, and then I found him, I got into a fight, So we have to identify all these things and then set up streamlined helplines to help victims of cyberbullying, but not only victims, but also to sensitize anybody who will have a thought of wanting to bully anybody out there. So that's my submission.
Thank you very much once again. Bonnie, I have been delighted to have you here, and thank you so much for all the knowledge, for your submission, and for imparting a difference. Yeah, I'm sure people out there have really learned a lot from you. We thank you very much and would like to say that do not get tired whenever you are called upon to actually come and be part of us here on Eurofarm Uganda. However, before you go, I just need to read one comment here on Facebook. It's from Smoggy John Remy. He says, Gibson, please don't ruin our song. Don't sing Sebo. Gibson, did you hear that? Someone said, don't sing Sebo. I heard. I think it was that someone commented and said that please don't sing, that you're ruining their song, yeah?
Really?
And then Moses Mugisha said that amazing. Thank you so much, Bonnie Cross. Yeah. We do appreciate your input, and we'd like to wish you a good night. Yes. Bye. Thank you. Yeah.
Take care.
Take care as well.
Bye.
Bless you. All right, that was Bonnie Cross, one of our guests today on Eurofarm Uganda, and he has been with us addressing the cyberbullying wave right here with my other gentleman, my brother, my co-host and guest, as you heard earlier, Gibson. Yeah, so Gibson, it's just the two of us. But before we go on, I would like to invite Esther to come and chip in as well. Before Esther comes in, Janat sent a message here to us saying that we could set clear guidelines for technology, use established rules for appropriate technology, including time limits on social media, games, and other apps. Monitoring screen time and online activity can help you detect early signs of cyberbullying and intervene whenever necessary. Thanks for the wonderful show. It's an eye-opener. Thank you very much, Janat, for your insight. We do appreciate your time. And now I'd like to ask Esther to join in, and Esther is also logged in. Yeah. Esther, the floor is all yours. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, our lovely host. Thank you for being so much welcoming. My submission will be on how the serious effects, the victims and all that. So let me put my submissions on what my colleague Bonnie had started on how to address cyberbullying, to add what he has said. Another way we can is to support and listen to victims. As we are listening to them, as we are supporting them, we are helping other people. So that we create, in that way, we create awareness. We can use them as tools to educate the little ones, even the people who are the elder ones as well. The other thing would be to practice empathy. The song Bonnie has really sung, puts you in that good mood about love, the love of God and everything. But if it was this song of maybe abusing or, violence and all that, it would put us in a certain way. So as we are trying to preach, to express and do that, it should begin with us. We should practice empathy. we should be kind online. Sometimes you want people to be kind to you, but you're not kind to others. You want people to comment good about you, but the way you're commenting, like my friend, what did you say that Gibson is going to? That is cyberbullying.
That is
Yes.
cyberbullying already.
In
Yeah,
other words,
they're bullying him
in other
already.
words, Esther, we should,
Why are you
we
bullying
should,
my Gibson?
Esther, in other words, we should remember to always do good to people or do what we would like others to do to us as well, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good. Carry on, Esther. Thank you. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, in a nutshell, those are my submissions. Thank you.
Oh no, I still wanted to have you here. That was quite brief and you're running away. But Esther, we do appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your input. And like you've heard, Esther says we should practice what we preach, much as we are here telling you guys to be kind and be nice and be mindful and empathetic to one another. We should also remember that we as well, have a role to play in this. So Gibson, you need to remember that. Yeah, be nice when you're sending us messages. Yeah, be nice and do not attack us. Yeah. Okay. Before we go on, I'll just go to Facebook and get some of our interactions there. Joanne Nelson says that I appreciate you all for this topic is quite important. And then Jolene actually commented on Smoggy's post where he said that Gibson, don't sing, you're ruining the song. Jolene said that this is cyberbullying. Yes, Smoggy, John Remy, stop cyberbullying our Gibson here. Yeah, Gibson, you need to tell Smoggy that you have all the powers today here, and in fact, yeah, you can throw him off Facebook right now.
Smokey,
Yeah.
this is our space.
Exactly. Tell him
And
it's
I
your
have
space.
the confidence. And I'm so confident. Don't try to take my self-esteem and try to cyberbully me.
Exactly. You have already done very well. You have done great, and we are so proud of you here on Euroform. But just after that commercial break, let's proceed and talk about the prevention and awareness part. Yeah, we are getting towards the end of our show. But before we do that, let's briefly talk about the prevention and awareness. What are some strategies that schools and communities can implement to prevent cyberbullying?
One,
yeah,
since it is powered by media,
yeah,
I believe some of this information should be censored. There is a whole department of cyber tracking with the police department, with the security agencies around the world. I think we should take it up, try to censor information, trying to do reports when we realize that some information is not true about someone. Take the responsibility. Let's try to be each other's keepers. When you realize someone is being harassed online, try to find out whether he's taking it in a right way, or because we have seen people commit suicide. So the best approach is, let's try to use the available means of censoring information, and that is geared towards bringing down individuals through cyberbullying, through bullying, through calling out of names, through let's try to report such incidences so that we avoid this new wave that has created havoc in our communities. So do reports, and also let's do sensitization. We need to do sensitization. Let people know that when you go out there, there are laws.
Yeah.
There are laws that protect victims of cyberbullying. Yeah, actually, if you have evidence that someone has bullied you, you can report them to the courts of law, and there are so many laws concerning cyberbullying within the courts of law. So let's take up the available means, trying to put across communication that will sensitize the public, and also will if you bully someone and you're being charged in the courts of law, it will create fear within the communities, even online, that someone, we have seen people being arrested for bullying others. Others have been arrested, so what we are going to do, what the best prevention would be, let's use the available means, the available platforms, the available avenues that address cyberbullying. Then two, what I think one of the preventions is, I think, let's try to encourage, let's identify, because we are all in the media fraternity. Almost all of us, we have smartphones. Let's try to identify those that are being bullied. Let's try to protect let's have each other's backs. Let's try to even, interact with people that are involved in bullying. Say a word or two, talk to them individually, inbox them. Because if we don't do that, we are going to create a new wave of destruction. I mean, people, with technology can just on a technology can just wipe out a whole generation. It can just wipe it off. Erase. Someone can go on social media and incite violence and just say ABCD, maybe like the Jews. You know what happened to the Jews? Or someone can go and say the Waganda ABCD, and then they take the law within them hands and they go and destroy and wipe up almost the entire race. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is that let's learn to communicate. Try to reach out to people that are involved in this
people that have gone through cyberbullying. Okay.
Yeah. So we can talk and talk more about this. We also need to, there's something that I want to talk about. We also need to start identifying and knowing. For example, we gave an example, people appearing in videos, nude videos, without the knowledge of what is actually happening. So I feel we should be able to identify fake videos and bring them to light and try to support, try to sensitize the public that this is a fake video.
Okay. Yes. All right.
When you see content that is not good, don't promote it.
Good. Thank you very much, Gibson. Let's wrap up on that one and let our viewers know out there that just like you've heard from the horse's mouth, you should try to be supportive, support one another, be nice to one another, and be there to sensitize and lift up people that are actually victims of cyberbullying. And then just as we go, I would like to have Janat Nagolola, in case you are still there, to actually take on this particular question that was talking more about the role of parents when it comes to cyberbullying. But I guess Janat is not on right now. So I will let Gibson Umuza to actually answer this one as we close our show. But before we do that, I'm going to read some comments from Facebook. And we have one gentleman called Butera Raymond. Raymond is a personal friend as well. Raymond says, greetings, Euroforum UG. Thanks for the good work. Raymond, thanks for being part of us. And we are more than happy to have you here. Smoggy says that I'm seeing collective efforts of you hosts, cyberbullying, aka innocent Smoggy Rambi. But always, anyways, it's quite a gigantic topic. What an ear, and I have picked a lot. Thank you very much, Smoggy, for being here with us. We do appreciate each and every one of you on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for all your comments and time. As we move on, I just want to remind you all that we are here powered by Euroforum Uganda with your host, your one and only host, Samantha L. from Finland. And our topic of discussion has been addressing the cyberbullying wave, with which we're coming to an end. Gibson, are you still there? Gibson? Okay, I think Gibson is not with us right now. He's muted. I'm sure he's coming back in a bit. But as Gibson comes back, I would just like to inform all our viewers out there, just like we have been talking about cyberbullying, remember, many people out there go through cyberbullying on a daily basis. You might not be one of them, but we have so many victims out there. And this is a vice that we are trying to avoid or trying to stop or trying to prevent. So remember to be someone else's backup. If you realize that somebody is being bullied or cyberbullied, please be there and try to support them, comfort them, and actually be there for them when they need you. Yeah. We are still on Euroforum Uganda, and like I said, we are wrapping up our show. Gibson. Okay, Gibson has taken a turn. Moses.
Hello, Samantha.
Yes. Is Gibson there?
Gibson, I think is I don't know if it's
taking a
with this
break.
network, but we could yeah, maybe
Okay, we could just wrap
momentarily.
up and end the show without him.
Okay, maybe we could momentarily take a 1 minute break.
1 minute break. Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Thank you.
To all our viewers out there, let's take a 1 minute break. We'll be back to just give you the summary of what we've been discussing today, and we'll see you in a short while. Thank you. Welcome back from that short commercial break. We hope you have enjoyed our show today with me, Samantha, and we have been here addressing the cyberbullying wave. That has been a topic of discussion. I would like to end or wrap up by saying that cyberbullying has become a growing concern, especially among young people, as it can lead to severe emotional and physical as well as psychological damage. As society becomes increasingly dependent on digital interactions, addressing cyberbullying is critical to creating safer online spaces and protecting the mental health of those affected. In this discussion, we have spoken a lot about cyberbullying, and remember to be there for one another so that we avoid the repercussions of cyberbullying, which sometimes have actually included death. We have been on Euroforum Uganda with me today as your host, and we had two guests with me. We had Umuhumuza Gibson, all the way from Uganda, as my co-host and partially as a guest as well. And then we had a gentleman called Bonnie Cross, all the way from Taiwan. We are now signing out, but before we do that, I would like to thank my management, my fellow co-hosts, starting with our boss and our team leader, Moses Mugisha from Norway. Moses, we thank you for what you do for us here on Euroforum. Thank you for leading us well, and we are here doing what you help us do as well. To all our viewers out there, we thank you for being part of Euroforum, because it is you that makes us who we are. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And then also remember that we have other co-hosts as well. People like Smoggy John Remy, he's the stubborn guy all the way from Copenhagen. Smoggy, shout out to you. Then we have Jolene Nasali from Sweden. We have Esther, we call her Blessed Esther, yeah, from Uganda. Esther was one of my guests. She chipped in briefly. And then we have Janat Nagolola, our parenting coach back in Uganda at Mind Your Child. And then lastly, we have Gibson Umuhumuza. Not forgetting, of course, Irene. Thank you very much, dear viewers. Thank you for your participation and your submissions and interactions on Facebook. We love you very much. Take care, and we wish you all a blessed week. I'm out for now. Bye. See you next time.